So it's certainly a pleasure to be here today to deliver the County of Grande Prairie State of the County Address. With me today are my fellow councillors, and I'll introduce them first, and I'll ask them to stand and be recognized at the end. First is Sharon Nelson. Sharon looks after our Claremont area. Leanne Beaupre, around the Grande Prairie area here. Ross Sutherland, Dimsdale. Pat Jacobs, Beaver Lodge, Hugh Allen. Brock Smith, Hythe. Lois Duick, Elmworth. Richard Harp, Valhalla. Marianne Ekstrom from Teepee Creek. And also our County Administrator, Bill Rogan. Also with us today is a person who works diligently on our behalf, Chris Workington, a Member of Parliament from Peace River. Thanks, Chris, for coming, and we realize how precious your time must be these days as you're reapplying for your job. All kidding aside, Chris is playing a key role in working with the county, town of Beaver Lodge, and Grande Prairie Regional College as we reassess the needs of the Beaver Lodge Research Station. We're also fortunate to have two proactive provincial representatives who could not be with us here today, and as the House is still in session. Honourable Mel Knight, Minister of Sustainable Resource Development for Grande Prairie Smoky, and Wayne Drysdale, Grande Prairie Wapiti. The County of Grande Prairie needs the support and the participation of the Alberta Government in meeting the key needs and priorities of the county and the region. In the last year alone, the provincial and federal grant funding we received over $10 million. And I think that's also worth a round of applause. Like other municipalities in the province, we did see a drop in our MSI grant funding. However, we've been very fortunate that the contract prices for our projects are coming in lower than estimated, so we've been able to maximize our funding received. Also joining us today are the different councils from across the region. While time doesn't permit me to recognize all of them by name, at this time I'd like them to all stand to be recognized from the city and the counties and municipalities around the region, town of Beaver Lodge. Please stand. Special mention needs to be made to the Grande Prairie and District Chamber of Commerce for hosting today's event. And I can't say enough about the excellent long-standing relationship the county has had with these folks. It's a big reason why our county and region overall is such a great place to live. At the Chamber's annual banquet, one of the county's employees, Planning and Development Services Director John Simpson, received the Clem E. Collins Award. Congratulations to John, and a big thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for reaching out and recognizing the great work of one of the county's own. Now, we've been delivering the State of the County Address for a number of years now, but this year is special. It's the first time we've ever delivered the State of the County Address in the county, and it's in one of our special places here at Evergreen Park. Next year, the Grande Prairie Regional Agricultural and Exhibition Society, which oversees the development and daily operations of the park, celebrates its 100th anniversary. The County of Grande Prairie believes places like Evergreen are what give us the quality of life we've become known for. You can be sure we plan to continue investing in Evergreen Park's growth and successes. As one of the Peace Region's natural areas and treasures, this 600-acre park stands out as a unique attraction with a group of dedicated volunteers operating and leading it. With more than 350,000 visitors each year, we owe a debt of gratitude to the dedicated volunteers who have made Evergreen Park into the largest exhibition facility north of Edmonton. When I look across the room, I see so many familiar faces. People who have lived here for decades and call the county home for most, if not all of their lives. I realize that we have something special here. It's a sense of community that is hard to describe until you've experienced it. In my comments today, I'd like to touch on a couple of major announcements and initiatives that have just recently occurred. I will also talk about our achievements in the past year and what you can expect in the way of new initiatives for the next several years. I want to share with you some key highlights from the annual strategic planning process County Council members and senior staff held in March. And last but not least, you'll hear me referring throughout my talk today about the people, organizations, and partnerships at local, provincial, and national levels that ensure the County of Grande Prairie is a place where people want to live, work, and play. First off, let me mention something that is very much on the top of mind with me. Yesterday's County Council meeting, where we approved an operating and capital budget for 2011. For those of you not aware of the outcome, Council voted and agreed to decrease by 0.5% residential property taxes, non-residential tax revenue, including machinery, equipment and pipelines, and farmland taxes. Your Council is committed to competitive taxes for our residents and those businesses located in the county. The County of Grande Prairie is open for business and understands that during more challenging economic times, the last thing any of us need is a tax increase. We want to make sure you spend your hard-earned dollars on your families, your businesses, and improving your quality of life, not on your taxes. At the same time, we also approved an 8% increase in operating budget from last year. We're all recognized that maintaining quality services and continuing to build an attractive location to raise a family and run a business means we always need to invest. One of our key areas of focus for this year's budget was policing and fire protection. Given our vast geographic distance, we believe these are areas that require almost constant review and analysis. In terms of police services, this year's expenditures are just over $2.5 million, which does not include capital. The county offers our communities a full-level enforcement services, animal control, bylaw enforcement services, peace officers, and 3 RCMP officers. In this area, our priorities remain traffic safety and infrastructure protection. The county recently hired 2 animal control officers, and a second bylaw officer was approved for this year's budget. Bylaw officers focus on the unsightly premises, snow removal, parking, and animal control. For the 2011 budget year, we plan to invest another $1.28 million in staffing to meet new needs for our new expanded fire service and another $419,000 for startup costs. Work has already started on the $416,000 expansion for the Beaver Lodge station. The expansion of fire protection services are on track for the beginning of 2012, and 6 senior firefighters and one of 4 fire captains have been hired, and all the necessary equipment has been purchased. This summer, we will hire a fire prevention officer to conduct inspections and investigations. The successful candidate will also develop a Fire Smart program for our communities and deliver various educational programs throughout the county. We're very fortunate to have such skilled people joining our expanded fire protection service. The 6 new senior firefighters are accountable for training and coordinating the activities of other firefighters and recruits employed by the county. We continue to find a high level of interest from the public to become part of the composite fire service and as a paid-on-call firefighter. Right now, we have 67 paid-on-call firefighters enrolled in various levels of training. The new service will support the Greater Grande Prairie rural area and offer mutual aid assistance to surrounding municipalities, including the City of Grande Prairie. Since our existing fire contract with the City of Grande Prairie continues till 2012, we'll put another $260,000 into our current contract with the City for a total this year of $2.16 million. Once our new county fire service is up and running, those expenditures will no longer be made, and we expect to save up to $6.28 million by 2014 by expanding our own fire service. We're putting $105,000 into completing our Emergency Operations Center and $87,000 to fund a portion of the Regional Disaster Coordination Initiative. We have the Alberta government to thank for funding that enables us to fast-track our rural addressing system, scheduled to be done in just a few months. Our rural addressing system allows emergency responders to find more quickly and accurately those people in our county who may require immediate assistance. We all know in an emergency situation, every second counts. We're about 70% completed in changing our 911 service from using the legal land locations to our rural addresses. When this is done, we'll use Garmin or Google Maps to upload all of our addresses so that you can use your Google systems in your cars to be able to find directions home. Our emergency... actually, that was for Ross. Our, our emergency responders will also benefit from the aggressive signage project we have underway this year. Any signs damaged during the winter will be repaired or replaced this summer. We also plan to start installing new subdivision maps and signage at entrances to our subdivisions that have more than 6 lots. While our hope is to get most, if not all, of the signs done this year, it's likely that it will be next year before they are completed. Recognize